Could the Washington Commanders potentially trade for star Jaguars edge rusher Josh Allen this offseason, cementing their edge rotation heading into the 2024 year? I'm going to let you guys know the answer to that question here in just a second. Josh Allen might not be too happy there in Duval. But before we get into that, make sure you click that subscribe button right now, because whenever there's breaking news for the Washington Commanders, if they make a big trade for an edge rusher, if they make another big trade for a different kind of player, cough, cough, Brandon Ayuk, we will have you covered with a breaking news coverage for your Washington Commanders. Not to mention, we'll have breaking news coverage breaking down every single pick the Commanders make during the 2024 NFL Draft. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now and help us get to 15K subscribers. All right, so now let's start with the top story today, which is that Jacksonville Jaguars star edge rusher, who they franchise tagged earlier this offseason, Josh Allen, liked a post on X completely blasting the Jaguars front office. Now, here's a picture of his X account here, and you can see Fred Taylor in the Hall of Fame next posted this. This is my frustration with the Jaguars organization. We don't go for the kill. Houston seen what they have and didn't come about draft picks, money, or didn't care about draft picks, money, or personnel. You can say that about Tennessee too, but Houston put themselves as the front runners to beat Kansas City. Scared money makes no money. All right, so the fact that he liked that post at least indicates that he might be unhappy there in Jacksonville. So let's take a look at his profile here. He was franchise tagged by the Jaguars earlier this offseason. We talked about Allen as a potential free agency target if they would have let him hit the open market. And you look at the Pro Football Focus grade, man, absolutely fantastic. Just below an elite grade there at 89.5. That was 11th out of 112 eligible edge rushers in the National Football League. And in my opinion, guys, what makes Josh Allen so good is that he's so well-rounded. He's great as a pass rusher, but he's also really good as a run defender, and he's perfect in terms of a three-down, every-down edge rusher as one of your bookends on the defensive line. And I really do think that this is the type of guy that the Washington Commanders need to add to their organization, especially after kind of a weird way to go about addressing the position in free agency, at least in my opinion. Now, let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Should the Commanders pursue a trade for Josh Allen? Give me a yes or a no for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. So when I talk about our sponsor today at PrizePicks, go down there into the comments section, find that pinned comment. It'll be right there at the top of the comments, and give me a yes or no. And with that, I want to thank our sponsor at PrizePicks for sponsoring today's Commanders Report video. And they've got specials for new and returning users alike for the Final Four when you head on over to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS. Football season may be over, but the action on the hardwood is just heating up, and whether it's the Final Four this weekend or the fight for NBA playoff seeding, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of the year. Get in on the excitement with our friends at PrizePicks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. March Madness has now reached its peak with the Final Four just on the horizon this weekend, and you can pick more or less right now to make some money on the biggest stage in college hoops. PrizePicks is simple. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get started now if you haven't already at prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the PrizePicks app today and get a first-time deposit match of $100 when you use our code CLNS when you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the PrizePicks app today. Pick more or pick less. It's that easy with our friends at PrizePicks. So now let's discuss the possibility of the Commanders potentially being interested in a trade for Josh Allen. That is, if he is on the open trade market. Now, you take a look at Josh and what he's been able to do this past year. Some really good stuff, man. 66 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 18 sacks, 33 QB hits. This guy gets to the quarterback consistently, and he forced 2 fumbles. And if that's not enough for you, take a look at these recent Pro Football Focus grades through the last 4 seasons of his career, where he's only gotten better every single year he's been in the league. Starting in 2020, 69.6, that was 33rd in the league. 2021, that jumps all the way to 78.5. Another jump in 2022 at 84.7 and 89.5, the highest of his career in 2023. So this guy's only 26 years old. He continues to get better, and he's already arguably a top 10 edge rusher in our game today. And let's face it, the Washington Commanders need a legitimate number 1 edge rusher if they want to get to where they want to go in the years to come under Dan Quinn, the new head coach. Because you look at how they address the position in free agency, and I would say it's underwhelming. I like Dorrance Armstrong. I think he'd be a good number 2 option. He's had some decent years in this league. But if you're trusting him to be your number 1 edge rusher moving forward, I just don't know what to tell you, man. Tell me that you wouldn't much prefer Josh Allen on one side and then Dorrance Armstrong on the other, as opposed to Dorrance being your number 1. And then you got guys like Cleveland Ferrell, Dante Fowler, KJ Henry. All those guys are kind of replacement level guys, in my opinion. The Commanders have the money. They have the ability to make a big splash move like this, and I am 100% on board for trading for Josh Allen if he's made available by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And honestly, I think that this actually makes maybe the most sense out of any team out there to make a move of this caliber. Now, in terms of what I'd be willing to give up for Josh Allen, I would be willing to give up that first pick at the top of round 2, pick number 36. For Josh Allen's services, because you might be using that pick regardless on an edge rusher. And at that point in the NFL draft, you're definitely not guaranteed to get a guy as good as Josh Allen. And before you say, oh, well, the guy in the draft is way younger and all these different things, Josh Allen is 26 years old. He is just entering his prime. So I think he's absolutely worth that big contract that he would be getting if he were to be traded to the Washington Commanders. And I think he is more than worth that number 36 overall pick. And if the Jaguars are willing to take that pick from us in exchange for the services of arguably a top 10 edge rusher in our game today, I am 100% taking them up on that offer, and Josh Allen's going to become a Washington Commander. Now, let me know what you guys think down there in the comments. Would you accept this trade if you were Commanders GM Adam Peters to bring Josh Allen, a top 10 edge rusher in this game, to the nation's capital? Type A for accept or D for decline. Let me know how you're feeling down there in the comments section. Plain simply, guys, I think Josh Allen is exactly the type of edge rusher that this team needs to add. The edge rusher market in free agency has completely dried up, especially in terms of number 1 edge rusher talent. Josh Allen, if he's made available via trade at this point in the process, this late in the game, I absolutely think he is worth a second-round pick to go out and get. And yes, I am giving him that massive extension to keep him in Washington long term. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I really do appreciate all of your support. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to talk Commanders football for free here on YouTube every single day. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now, because we've got a bunch of great stuff coming your way in the next couple of days.